The secret she wouldn't share: I always believed that love could survive anything. Distance, time, even the world's judgment. But I never thought it would break under silence. When I met Claire, I was 19, barely out of the storm of figuring out who I was. I had just started my transition, taking testosterone, cutting my hair, feeling, for the first time, like my reflection belonged to me. She was the first person who made me believe I could be loved, not despite who I was, but because of it. For years, I built my life around her. For years of late-night calls, weekend trips, whispered promises, and plans that felt like forever. But in those years, I was always a shadow in her world. She told her friends I was a close friend from high school. She told her parents I was her roommate. And every time I asked why, she'd say, they just wouldn't understand. Not yet. Give me time. That word became my prison. The cracks started showing the night of her sister's engagement party. She invited me, then uninvited me, said it would be too complicated, said her family wasn't ready to meet someone like me. I remember sitting in my car outside the venue anyway, parked just far enough to see her through the window. She was laughing, glowing, her arm looped through another guy's as she introduced him to her parents. He wasn't her boyfriend, not really, just another mask to keep her secret life separate from her real one. And I was watching from the dark. That night, something broke in me. A week later, I asked her the question I'd been avoiding for years. Am I your secret? Her face went still. Don't say it like that. Then what am I, Claire? What are we? She took a breath, eyes darting away. You know what you mean to me, but you don't know how people will react. My family. They're traditional. My dad would lose it. My friends wouldn't get it. You don't understand what it's like for me. I laughed, but it came out like a sob. For you? You don't understand what it's like for me. Every day I fight to exist. Every day I live with people questioning who I am. And the one person who's supposed to love me is ashamed of me. She didn't say anything. She just cried. But the silence said everything. The breaking point came 2 months later. Her birthday. We'd planned to go to the coast, a small cabin by the sea, just us. The first night, she was glowing, playful, tipsy from the wine I brought. The second night, her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. When she fell asleep, I saw the message light up her screen. Did he really think you'd tell them about him? My hands trembled. It was from her best friend, the one she always swore didn't know. I scrolled further. They'd been talking about me for months. Every time I asked Claire to come out, every time I said I wanted to be seen, she'd vent to her friend, mocking me, minimizing my feelings, calling me dramatic. She even called me her experiment. I remember standing on that balcony, the ocean wind cold against my face, my chest burning. I wanted to wake her up, to scream, to demand why she would do this to me. But I didn't. I packed my things, left the key on the counter, and walked out into the dawn. 3 hours later, she called me 30 times. When I finally answered, she was sobbing. Please don't do this. You're overreacting. I didn't mean any of it. It was just jokes. You know how people are, do you? I said quietly. Do you know how it feels to be someone's secret joke for years? She begged. She promised she'd tell everyone. That she'd introduce me properly. That she'd fix everything. But I'd already made my choice. Claire, I said, you can't fix something that was never real to begin with. Months passed. I thought I'd heal. But betrayal has a way of lingering like smoke. Sometimes I see her on social media. She's smiling beside someone new, open, proud. She tags him in photos. Her parents like every post. And I can't help but wonder, was I the bridge she crossed to find the version of herself she could finally show the world? Was I just the secret practice run? I still love her in a strange, ghostly way. But love without honesty is just control. A leash disguised as affection. And now, when people ask me why I left her, I don't tell them the long version. I just say, because I finally got tired of being invisible. Part 2. The return of the secret. It had been 9 months since I left Claire. 9 months of rebuilding myself from the shards she left behind. In that time, I'd started therapy, joined a local trans support group, even gone back to school. I was learning what it meant to live, not just survive. But I also learned something else. The past doesn't die quietly. It started with a message request. Claire, hey, I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but can we talk, please? I stared at it for 10 minutes, my stomach tight. She had no right to text me. No reason. I ignored it. A week later, another message came. Claire, I just want to explain. Things are different now. I told my family about you. I told everyone. Please, just hear me out. I almost laughed. Told everyone. After 9 months of silence, no. It had to be guilt. Maybe regret. Or maybe performance. Still, curiosity is a dangerous thing. And closure can be a trap. We met at a coffee downtown. When I walked in, I barely recognized her. Her hair was shorter, her clothes darker, her face thinner. But her eyes, the same pale green that once made me believe in forever, were red and tired. She smiled nervously. You look good. I didn't return it. You said you wanted to explain. She nodded, taking a shaky breath. I told my parents. About us. About you. Everything. I raised an eyebrow. Why now? She looked down. Because they found out anyway. Someone sent them photos. I froze. Photos? She nodded. Of us. Together. From years ago. My heart started pounding. Who sent them? She hesitated. I don't know. But it ruined everything. My parents stopped talking to me. My job started treating me differently. People are whispering. I thought you should know. I sat there, stunned. She wasn't here to apologize. She was here to make me her shield again. Claire, I said slowly, you spent years hiding me. Now that your secret's out, you want me to fix it for you. Her eyes filled with tears. That's not fair. I loved you. No, I said. You loved the version of me that fit your life. You never loved me. She reached for my hand. Please, can we start over? We could show them we're fine. Together, make them see it's real. I pulled my hand back. You didn't fight for me when I needed you. Don't ask me to fight for you now. Her face hardened. You're just bitter. You always wanted me to be some kind of activist trophy. I was scared. I leaned in, voice cold. You were a coward. And now that your lies caught up to you, you want someone else to take the blame. For the first time, I saw something dark flicker in her eyes. Not sadness, but anger. It was the same look she had the night I found those messages. Be careful, she said quietly. People already think you're unstable. They'll believe me before they believe you. I stood up, then let them. That night, my phone exploded. Dozens of notifications. Instagram tags, screenshots, DMS. Claire had posted a long, emotional story about how her former partner had abandoned her when she needed him most. She never mentioned my name, but she didn't need to. Everyone who knew us could tell. She called me confused, said she tried to help me find myself, said she wasn't ashamed, just afraid, and the comments flooded in. You're so brave, Claire. You didn't deserve that. He sounds manipulative. My blood ran cold. The next day, someone spray-painted liar on my apartment door. At first, I thought it was random vandalism, until I saw the same word carved into my car hood. Claire's followers had found me. I messaged her one last time, me. You said you wanted to talk, not destroy me. Claire, I didn't mean for it to go that far. You know how people are online. Me. You started it. Claire, you left me. You made me look like a fool. In just telling my truth, her truth, that phrase, it burned more than the betrayal. Weeks passed. I tried to ignore it, but rumors spread faster than healing. I lost friends who didn't want to pick sides. People in my community whispered that I was aggressive, unstable, to angry. One night, my therapist asked me, why do you keep letting her live in your head? I didn't have an answer, until I realized I wasn't the one holding on. She was. One morning, I woke up to a knock on my door. A package, no return address. Inside was a small photo album. Old pictures, me and Claire back when things were good. Notes she'd written me, and a single Polaroid on the last page. Recent, grainy, taken from a distance. Me, walking out of my apartment. Written under it in her handwriting. You can't hide forever. Not when I made you. My chest tightened. It wasn't guilt anymore. It was fear. I changed my locks the next day. Blocked her number. Reported everything I could. But she still found ways. Fake accounts, anonymous emails, even letters left under my windshield. She didn't want me back. She wanted control. And that's when I realized something terrifying. She hadn't kept me a secret out of fear. She had done it to own me. I was her private story, her hidden rebellion, her forbidden thing. And when I left, I took away the only version of power she ever had. The last time I heard from her was on New Year's Eve. A text from an unknown number. They all know who you are now. I hope you're happy. You destroyed me. I deleted it without replying. Then I sat in the dark and finally let myself breathe. Because the truth is, I didn't destroy her. I just stopped letting her hide behind me. Epilogue: a year later, I stood on a small stage at a local Pride event. I wasn't there as someone's secret anymore. I was there as myself. When I finished speaking, the crowd cheered, and for the first time in years, the sound didn't feel hollow, because love built on lies will always collapse. But truth survives everything, and that's what I am now. Not someone's secret, not someone's shadow, just truth. Part 3. The ghost she created. It's been 3 years since I last heard from Claire. 3 years since I changed my number, deleted my old accounts, and moved to cities away. I thought it was over. I told myself I was safe. But secrets like hers don't stay buried. They rot, and the smell always finds its way back. It started with whispers. Someone on a local community forum had posted a thread titled, "Does anyone know what happened to her?" Attached was a blurry photo of Claire. The comments were full of speculation. She moved abroad. She went off the grid. She had a breakdown. She's not a lie. I scrolled for an hour frozen. Part of me hoped she was gone for good. Another part, the part still haunted by her voice, couldn't stop shaking. Because in the photo, she wasn't smiling. She was watching. And behind her, blurred but unmistakable, was me. The picture had been taken months ago, outside the bookshop I worked at. I didn't tell anyone. I wanted to believe it was a coincidence, or maybe an old picture. But then, 3 nights later, someone slid an envelope under my door. No name, no return address. Inside, a note written in perfect cursive. "We always end up where we belong. You can't erase me." And beneath it, a single Polaroid. Me again, taken through my apartment window. I called the police. They made a report, told me they'd keep an eye on things. But how do you explain a ghost in human form? I bought new curtains, changed my locks again, started avoiding my own reflection. At night, I could still hear her voice in my head, not cruel, not screaming, just whispering. "If you had just stayed, I wouldn't have had to do this." A month passed, then 2, nothing, until I got a message from a number I didn't recognize. Unknown. "Hey, you might not remember me, but I used to be friends with Claire." I hesitated, then replied, "Me, what do you want?" Unknown. "You need to know. She's been talking about you again. She's saying you ruined her life. She's making videos." I froze. Me. Videos? Unknown. On TikTok, on Reddit, everywhere. She's telling people she was emotionally abused by you, and people believe her. I opened my laptop, searched her name, and there she was. Thousands of followers. A new identity. A pity narrative built from ashes she'd set herself on fire to create. She cried on camera, saying I had manipulated her, that I had forced her to hide the relationship. She showed old photos, twisted our story into something dark and pitiful. Her as the victim, me as the villain. Every video ended the same way. He thinks I'm gone, but I'm always watching. My hands shook as I scrolled through the comments. "You're so brave for sharing this. He sounds dangerous. I hope you're safe now." The algorithm rewarded her pain. Her lies became entertainment. And once again, I was invisible. The ghost she painted in her story. I contacted the platform, reported the videos. They took some down, but more appeared. Different accounts. Same voice, same handwriting. I started losing sleep again. Started looking over my shoulder. And then, one night, I saw her. Outside my apartment, across the street, just a silhouette under the flickering street light. She didn't move, didn't wave, just watched. When I blinked, she was gone. 2 days later, I got another envelope. Inside was a USB drive. Curiosity won over fear. I plugged it into my laptop. There was only one file. A video, shaky, low quality, filmed in a dimly lit room. Claire sat on the floor, wearing the same necklace I'd given her years ago. Her eyes were wild but calm, her voice eerily steady. "If you're watching this, you probably think I've lost my mind. Maybe I have, but I just want you to understand. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just wanted to keep you forever." Then she smiled. Small, broken. People forget that secrets are living things. They grow, and if you bury them, they claw their way out. The video ended abruptly. I sat there for a long time, the room silent except for my breathing. Then I checked the file's metadata. It was uploaded the day before, from my city. 2 weeks later, her account went dark. No more videos. No more posts. A news story broke 3 days after that. A body had been found in an abandoned motel an hour outside of town. No ID. No phone. Just a necklace. silver with an engraving on the back. 4C, you'll always be my truth. The police called me in to identify her. I didn't want to go, but part of me needed to. She looked peaceful, almost like she was sleeping. I asked the detective what happened. He said she'd been living under a fake name for months. They found hundreds of photos of me, my apartment, my friends. Every wall was covered. He asked if I wanted any of the items back. I said no, but he gave me one thing anyway. Her last note, you said you got tired of being invisible, so I made sure no one could ever look away from you again. It's been 2 years since then. I've moved again. New city. New life. But sometimes when I pass by a mirror or catch my reflection in a window, I swear I see her standing behind me, smiling, watching, waiting, and I wonder if maybe, just maybe, she finally got what she wanted. Because now every time someone asks about my past, every time I tell my story, it's still our story. And in that way she's still here. Secrets never die. They just change shape.